Hi everyone. Today we are going to introduce to you the BoilerplateJS reference architecture. In order to demonstrate the use of BoilerplateJS, we will be first creating a simple UI component on top of it. To get started, you first have to go to boilerplatejs.org and download the latest version. BoilerplateJS uses require.js to manage dependencies as well as load script files. In this example, we will also be using knockout.js. If you are not familiar with these technologies, we encourage you to go through the links provided. We'll first extract the files and then import it into our IDE. Once you run boilerplate.js on top of a web server, it will look like this. It is important that you run it on a server in order to see the full functionality. As you can see, boilerplate.js ships with some pre-defined modules for your reference. The folder structure of boilerplate.js will look like this. The libs may contain all the third-party libraries that you will need for your development. The source folder, and this is where you will be working mainly, contains the core and the modules. The core will have some helper classes as well as some context and controller classes. If you're developing a complex product suite, the concept of modularization will help you to decouple and encapsulate different functional areas. The modules folder will contain such modules. As you can see, here we have 3 modules created. A module may have its own settings file as well as UI components within it. A UI component will mainly consist of the view, view model, and component files. The view and view model are to implement the MVVM architecture. If you are not familiar with it, don't worry, you will understand how it is used as we move along. The component file will assemble all parts of the UI component and provide an entry point for the application to interact with this UI component. The component can be customized furthermore with localization and styling. We will discuss more about them in later videos. Inside the Tools folder, you will find the Snippets folder, which contains code snippets to quick start your development. I will copy the sample UI component 2 and paste it inside sample module 2. I will also rename the sample UI component 2 to HelloWorld. Now if you add the HelloWorld to the URL as a hash, let's see what happens. Nothing happens. This is because no one is listening to respond to the route HelloWorld. In order to make our UI component respond to HelloWorld, we must ask the URL controller of the module to direct any requests made on HelloWorld to our UI component. In order to do that, in the modules file of the sample module 2, we need to add our component file of HelloWorld as a dependency. This is just like an import statement in Java. Next, we will add the route of HelloWorld into the set of routes. Inside the component file of the HelloWorld, you will find the activate and the deactivate methods. The activate method will get triggered if the route HelloWorld is detected as a hash. Inside this activate method, we'll add a console.log statement for now. Now if you go to your browser and type hello world, you can see the console.log working. This is good, but you can't ship a product which writes the console. We need some kind of user interface, or in other words, an HTML view or template. If you go to our view, currently it holds this. Since we're using knockout.js, we'll copy some code from one of its examples and paste it into a view. Now we have to import this view into our component.js file for rendering. Here we have imported it, and we are also using the text plugin of require.js. If you're not familiar with it, you can refer the require.js website. I'll comment out the console.log statement and instantiate the view to the panel variable. Here I will also be using one of the boiler classes called boiler.viewTemplate. Now if you go to your browser, you should be able to see our view. But as you can see, this does not respond to any changes. This is because there is no logic or data binding implemented yet. So let's copy the view model from our example and paste it into our view model. We'll remove the defaults and save it. Now in our component file, we have to instantiate our view model. Next, we have to apply the data bindings between the view and view model. Now if you go to your browser, let's see what happens. As you can see, the changes made to these fields are reflected here. But let's see what happens when you click another UI component. As you can see, our Hello World component is still visible. In order to get rid of this, we need to write code for the deactivate method. So in our component.js file, in this deactivate method, I will write the logic such that if a panel exists, I will remove it. This is not the best way to do it, as there is no automatic garbage collection after the remove method is called. We will discuss how it is best to do it in later videos. Now if you refresh your browser and go to a Hello World component, you will see that it is working as earlier. But if you click another UI component, you will not see the Hello World component. And that's it. We have successfully created a UI component in the sample module 2. If you want to know more information about how BoilerplateJS works, you can visit our website boilerplatejs.org.